the last Rosewood-Beech laminated panel for the navigation area. What I do need to do now though is I need to put some strut supports. I need to work out what sort of support I'm going to have. So what's going on with this? This is going to be a block. Well, here we are again, folks, back to the beautiful rosewood with the white beech. I've got one more panel to do, which is that navigation flooring, and I have decided to go ahead and make it the same as the rest of the cabin sole. For obvious reasons, that will just blend in nicely, and for those who haven't seen how great it ends up, you can have a look at a prior video. But yes, I'm going for this beautiful look again. What I've done is, this is actually much thinner than the main cabin sole, and the reason is because this is not really going to have traffic. This is really just more aesthetics. So whereas with the cabin sole it was 9mm thick, this is 4.5, so half the thickness. And of course, because I've started on the navigation installing those panels, I've decided to just make a start and get this prepared so that with a dry fit for the flooring and that end panel, I can then remove that floor and get this laid. So here I am, the last Rosewood-Beech laminated panel for the navigation area. I'm looking forward to doing this actually. With all that experience I've had, this is actually now enjoyable. So just to say again with the process, I'll map out the Rosewood-Beech pieces, mark them, sand the panel, and then mix up some epoxy and make a paste glue of that, lay that down, place the Rosewood-Beech on top, clamp it, and hopefully tomorrow morning it comes out a treat.
You can't turn the tide, let the water go where it wants to go. Yourself beneath the stone. Somebody told me that everyone can use a friend sometimes. It takes some good advice. Don't let your fear decide. That's how you break inside. Take a breath. Let me be a part of something real. Someone said it's better when you hold on to a helping hand. Sometimes we could all use a friend. The pieces, hey, you'll be alright. You'll be alright.
So there we have it, one rosewood and beech laminated cabin sole for the nav area and one seat. It's nice having that nav cabin sole piece in. I think it looks a treat. What I do need to do now though is I need to put some strut supports underneath the seat here and also underneath this edge of that floor. So I'm just working out how I'm going to do that. But what I will do is with this floor piece, I'll set it in and run it down on an angle because, as you could probably imagine, with the cabin sole piece in here, there's a small gap, and if you go for a bit of a slip in bare feet, you don't want your toes ramming into some sort of support here. So I will put that on a bit of an angle just to remove it from this edge here. With the seat here, I think what I'm going to do is put 2 struts back, one from each side, going back to a central point. That's obviously going to provide much more stiff support. Having just one in the middle could make that seat seesaw a little bit, which obviously I don't want. So I've got this cabin sole panel back because I need to work out what sort of support I'm going to have for this nav floor piece. I was thinking, as you can see by this template here, of using rosewood and making a piece to fit in here. However, at looking at it, I think it's going to make it trickier to get this cabin sole piece out. So the idea now is to use the galvanized steel angle to make up a bracket which will support this edge and go down to this frame. And I think that will be, well, stronger, less space taking, and an easy fix. So here is my proposed piece of angle, which I think will be out of the way when it comes to removing this cabin sole. So I'll remove this panel now. Let's see how it goes. Aha, well, I thought something like that was going to happen, and I do have a plan B, which is that that bracket could be unbolted and removed in the event that this panel needs to be removed. So it looks like that's what it needs to be. So what's going on with this? Well, to explain, this is going to be a block which will be fastened to the bulkhead with glue and screws. And what that's going to do is provide a stop for these two struts that I'm going to be putting underneath the seat, so that when it's sat on, of course, it's supported. So what I need to do now is just measure up for these two strut supports, and that way, once they're in, the seat can be used. There is way more time and work than you could imagine involved in making the nav seat struts. So the idea is to use it to get the angle right. Now I've got my two struts, now the real fun begins. So I've been hunting for plumbing fittings for the sinks here, and now for the moment of truth. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell and share. I'd really appreciate that.